My name is Sarah Goodwin. I'm a solicitor with Latitude Law. I've been working with Latitude for about 2 years, and prior to that I also did immigration work with another firm. I work quite closely with Universal Think Tank to help migrants come to the UK, Chinese migrants come to the UK, and with their applications. So the sole representative route is for someone who would like to come to the UK, who is a senior employee in a company overseas, and they would like to come to the UK to set up a new branch or subsidiary of that company, where that company doesn't have a branch or subsidiary already in the UK. Someone who is a senior employee, they cannot be a majority shareholder, so that needs to be borne in mind when making the application. They need to have full authority of the company to take all operational decisions in the UK. They also need to have a low level of English, so it's only a level A1 which is required for this type of application, but they still do need to have some knowledge of English. And finally, they need to be able to show that they can maintain and accommodate themselves in the UK without recourse to public funds. So the benefit of this is that migrants can bring their spouse and their children with them relatively easily. They don't need to show any kind of huge maintenance requirements, so there's no requirement to show a certain amount of funds in a bank account to do that. Their spouse could then work in the UK freely, and their children can attend public or private schools. Another benefit is, as I said before, that the English language test is relatively easy. It's only to level A1, which is quite low level. To apply for settlement, it is an easier process than for other applications. You can apply for settlement after 5 years in the UK. You only need to show that you have been employed by the company that whole time and that you've been paid by the company. You need to show that your English language is then level B1 and that you've passed the Life in the UK test. But there's no requirement to show that the company in the UK is making a certain amount of profit or that the turnover is a certain amount. So it's quite simple in that terms. You only need to show that the business is still continuing. So once the migrant has come to the UK, they can just start working in their business as per normal. It's quite simple. They can start up anywhere in the UK. They don't need to be London based. It could be anywhere. They could start just one branch or a few. It doesn't really matter. It's quite flexible in terms of the requirements for the visa. The short answer is no, there is no requirement that's needed. The company can be any size, it can have any turnover, the level of gross profit doesn't matter too much. The only thing that needs to be kind of borne in mind is that the Home Office are going to look to see whether there's a business case for the company starting a branch in the UK. So if the company is making a loss overseas, then perhaps there isn't a reason for them to expand into the UK, so that needs to be considered by the company. Similarly, the employee doesn't need to have been with the company for a set amount of time. If you can show that the employee has been hired specifically to come to the UK to start the business, then that's fine, as well as someone who's been with the company for 10 years. It doesn't matter either way. We have had quite a few successes in the past with this type of visa, both with entry clearance, with leave to remain, and with indefinite leave at the end of the process. We have lots of specialist immigration solicitors who can assist with any of those applications and have lots of experience. So anyone who would like any assistance with applying for a sole representative visa can contact us, and we'll be happy to help.